Okay, so now how do you actually package this game? Before we actually do that, we need to go to our main UI because there is a little issue with our black screen right here. We just need to make sure that it's not visible, it's not hit testable. Okay, so now everything is working. Before we package our game, we also need to make sure that right here where our cabin is at, make sure that first of all doors they have the key assigned. Then we need to make sure that this pentagram here, when it's false, we should display text instead of burning pages. And I think that's it. We can now export the game. So how we do that? We need to open level, and here we have this platforms button. And if you will click on packaging settings right here, it will open up packaging settings. And here there are a few settings that we need to change in order to export the game properly. First of all, right here where we have this project, we need to make sure that we change from build configuration development to shipping. And here, this full rebuild. So when you are actually building your game, I recommend checking this full rebuild to true. But if you're not building the game for shipping yet, just for testing purposes, you can leave this as false, but we will go for fill rebuild. Then on the left side where we have this project, we can go to description because here we can also change some things. And here we have, for example, publisher, right? So we can add your company name, homepage, contact, and all that information. You can also add some description for your project as well as project name and project version. But now we need to go to maps and modes just to make sure that our editor startup map is our level main menu. This is very important. We need to make our main menu as our first level that will load with the game. But we need to do it here in game default map because this is editor startup map. This is where we open the editor. But when the game starts, we want to open level main menu, just like that. And now we can go to supported platforms. And I'm just exporting this game for Windows, so I can deselect every other platform. We don't need to export to this platform. We will just export for Windows. But before we actually export to Windows, we also need to tweak some settings for this Windows build. So we need to scroll down a little bit. And here you should see platforms. And here we have Windows. So if you click on Windows, there are plenty of things to change. First of all, we have this editorial splash, which is not that important. It's just the splash on your screen when you open this project. And this is game splash. So this will display when the game was starting. So you can change that. You can see the dimensions are 720 by 370. Down here, we also have game icon. If you want to have custom game icon, you just need to import your icon right here by clicking these three dots. And now you can select your icon. So I believe that's all we need to do in project settings. Now we can close them, and in level game, we can click on these platforms again. And now we need to select Windows. Now we need to make sure that our binary configuration is set to shipping as well. So now let's go back to Windows. And now we can just click package project. Now it will ask you where you want to export this project. So I already have a folder for my Bookhead horror game. So now we can just click select folder, and you can see packaging project for Windows. You can click show output log. It will just show you this output log. And now we just need to wait for this project to package, and it can take some time. It depends on your project and your computer. So it can take a couple of minutes and it can take a couple of hours. So now we just need to wait. And now after a couple of minutes, you can see build successful. If you see this, it means that your build was successful. So now if you'll go to that folder, in my case, it is Bookhead Horror, you will see this Windows folder. And inside this Windows folder, you have this My Horror Game, or however you name this project. And now if you double click on that, it will just open the game. And yeah, that's your game. So everything works. You can quit the game. And now if we will open the game one more time, if we will press play, it'll just load you into this forest. And you can hear every sound is working. We can collect these pages. We can enter this abandoned building. We can also open these drawers where we will find our key that we can just pick up, and now we can leave. We can also pause the game with resuming and going back to menu. After finding every page, we can unlock the doors, enter this building, turn on the light, and now we can actually burn pages. Okay, so that's it. You've just created your first full horror survival game, and I hope you've learned a lot, and thank you for being with me.